As a physio, I attended our physio groups. We used to have talks in Rotorua or Tauranga or Hamilton, and one of the lectures that I went to, there was an English occupational therapist speaking, and she was talking about toy libraries. And I had thought, toy libraries? Reading libraries? Yes, toy libraries. Well, what a very good idea. And I was treating spina bifidas and polios and spastics and things like that. And I thought, I knew the hospital wouldn't do anything about it, and I mean, we didn't have the facilities for a toy library. But I was on the board of the Crippled Children's Society. I'd been roped in for that 3 weeks after I got to New Zealand. And I asked them, I brought it up in 1970, and people on the board said, well, I buy toys for my children, why can't other people buy toys for their children? And I mean, if you've got a disabled child, it might take them, have a break. It might take 15 different sorts of toy for a child to be able to put a button through a buttonhole, or to do up a hook and eye, or anything, something like that. And they eventually agreed that, yes, well, perhaps it would be a good idea. I had to say what I wanted and where I thought it would come from and who would make it. In those days, toys in New Zealand were terrible. No selection of anything very much. And 1970 I started. 1972 the toy library started. A lot of it toys made by grandfathers who are now babysitting their grandchildren while their son and daughter-in-law work. And we had wooden cutouts that fitted into shapes, different coloured paints and things, painted things and things like that. And some of the toys we were able to buy from the shops. And I got a lot of catalogues from overseas and marked some of these toys as things that we really must have sometime. And anybody that knew anybody that was going overseas, we gave them a picture out of this catalogue, and we said, would you please buy this out of your money and bring it back as personal goods to New Zealand, and then we will pay you for it. Because that way it could come into the country without paying tax. If we imported it, there was a tremendous tax that we had to pay. So we got a lot of good toys in that way, and then toys in New Zealand improved, and now, I mean, it is fantastic. We started, if I remember rightly, with cash of £500, and we got a lot of toys. We had a large cupboard with shelves, and I should say the cupboard was 7 feet tall and about 2.5 feet deep, and we had, with doors that locked, and we had a huge chest that we put things like balls and skittles and big blocks into that locked with a padlock. It had to be locked because it was kept in the waiting area of the department, and it was the passageway to OT, to physio, to anywhere that anybody wanted to go. People that came for treatment, parents and I sorted out what toys the child would perhaps use. When mothers, I say mothers because it was usually the mother that came to clinic, when they came to clinic with children, they would come down and make a selection of toys. Crippled Children's Society in those days had field officers, and field officers would collect toys and take them out to the families. And so that worked wonderfully. Well, then when we were going to move, and the medical superintendent gave me permission to do this, and gave me permission for some of my work hours to be spent on toy library. When Crippled Children's Society was moving from where they were to a new building, they had a room that would take the toys. So they took the toy library over with a full-time person looking after it, and with much more money and things like that.